Greetings, I'm Christopher Logan Hill, G.I. Joe Gamer, and today on Joe Takes 17, we're going to take a look at Bazooka from the Hill. Let's get this glare off my hand a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dive into the figure. Now, I do not have the original vintage Bazooka. I used to. But the reason why I don't is because when I picked up the Tiger Force Bazooka in 1988, I parted him out. Which is something I regret now, but at the time, I thought that the Tiger Force Bazooka was a much nicer looking bazooka. I never really cared for him walking into battle with a big red t-shirt. However, that being said, in some ways, that's a more iconic look for Bazooka, but coincidentally enough, the only classified figure I have is the Tiger Force version as well. Now, these were his original accessories for, excuse me, for this Bazooka, but I actually prefer the ones that came with the original Bazooka, and here we go. He just, to me, with the lighter green backpack and the lighter green helmet, he looks a lot better. But that could just be me, and I'm definitely dealing with this morning. Sorry. Now, as far as carded figures, I do have a modern Bazooka with the iconic look, so we can check that out here in a little bit. And then, of course, on the back we've got the file card, and you can pause that and look at it if you like. Now, the backpack with the missiles on that turned out to be a pretty cool. I mean, they did a decent enough job. Now, of course, on the classified figure, they went a step further and actually made it even better. But I was looking for the part on Bazooka's missile launcher, and it happens to be in the box. I'm glad I saw that. Well, here's the box art. Now, I definitely have a better look at this artwork later on in the video as a close-up. He's number 54 in the series, and I'm going to take that little part out and put it right back on the Bazooka today. Well, his missile launcher. It's hard not to call it a Bazooka because he is a Bazooka. His name is Bazooka. I know, and I'm sure that that's a callback to the old Bazooka Joe gum that used to come with these little, it was like candy for kids, but it had a little gum that came with it, and little comic strips that it was wrapped in. It was kind of neat. And I was looking all over for this, and it had stayed in the box. I find that to be hilarious. So I will put that back on his missile launcher, which meant that it wasn't featured properly in the video that I'll be on Operation WC's Part 7. But here's the classified Bazooka. Now, compared to the original vintage Tiger Force helmet, the colors on this Tiger Force Bazooka are way better. Now, they went with a darker green, but I don't know what they were thinking with this. A lot of these accessories that they came out with, the Tiger Force and other repaints of the original Joes in the vintage series were, I don't know, they were just weird colors. And so I got my missile launcher complete on Bazooka there, and I think he looks pretty cool. And I've got the fourth missile in the other room where we've been taking the pictures for Operation Dungeon Siege. So he's the third G.I. Joe Gold Brick. Now we got one more, and I'm kind of holding that off for a surprise. Now, as far as the Marvel comic for Bazooka, I couldn't find any cover appearances. I mean, there may have been one, but he didn't really stand out a lot in the comics. He actually stood out more in the cartoon. However, in this was his first appearance in issue 44. He shows up in the Awe Striker right there next to Crankcase. And also featured as a first appearance in this issue was Heavy Metal in the Mauler and Airtight, my favorite character. So it's kind of cool to look at this. I've been kind of saving it for the right moment, and I'm feeling Bazooka is that moment. Now, Lady J had seniority, so that's why she was in charge here. Bazooka actually outranks everybody here as far as actual pay grade. But Lady J, they always portrayed her as having a higher rank than she actually did. And I think it might have been because of her specialty, but also she had seniority and she was just kind of running through the course. I think one of my favorite parts in this comic book with Bazooka, or Dr. Mindbender also, that was his first appearance in this, but they called him Dr. Brainwave. There was a scene, they had got captured, they had gotten captured by Cobra in this, of course, and where Dr. Mindbender was testing out bats and his plant spores, which the bats seemed successful, but not so much the plant spores, which I don't think they ever used again. But this scene here where Bazooka lobs his empty missile launcher at... Let me see if I can do this correctly. Nope, I went the wrong way. So he lobs the missile launcher at the bat and takes his head off. I thought that was pretty cool. And so when I was doing my Operation Dungeon Siege with Bazooka, I definitely wanted to have him going up against the bats. So I hope you guys enjoy that video. I love this cover too. It's just with the issue before, issue 43. But 44, that's where Bazooka first appeared in the comics. I'm just going to slide. I'll just leave it out here. So you can check it out if you want to. Now, for some reason, I didn't move the camera right so you could take a look at the comics today. I figured you'd seen this one already, issue number 1. So that takes us to the cartoon, the Sunbow cartoon. He was, as far as I know, he wasn't in the Deke series. He was in a few of the other later animated movies, but just minor roles. In the Deke series, he first appeared in the Pyramid of Darkness, and it's hard to not talk about the Sunbow cartoon and not talk about Bazooka and Alpine. They were not just best friends, but they were always paired up together. Generally with Alpine leading, or at least taking charge. I think Bazooka is more of the strong, silent type in a lot of ways. His file card, however, calls him a decisive and fast thinker, which they sure didn't portray him in the cartoon as a decisive and fast thinker. But as a sergeant, I place it. He has that rank, so in my head canon, he is a squad leader. He's not necessarily a major unit leader or a team leader, but a fire team, maybe a smaller fire team as a squad leader. So that's where I'm at with Bazooka. As far as the cartoon, excuse me, I'm having a rough time with my asthma today. Sorry, but in the cartoon, like I say, he was in Pyramid of Darkness, his appearance was okay. He stood out in a lot of the episodes. I think predominantly he had the episode Bazooka Saw a Sea Serpent, which was pretty cool. Cobra had designed this massive sea serpent that they had kidnapped a scientist, and he got swallowed by his own creation and was inside the sea serpent. But Bazooka had seen it while him, Alpine, and Cutter were camped out on a beach for the night, and but nobody believed him that he saw a sea serpent. But they believed him as soon as it attacked the seaboards and went out of control. And that was kind of a fun episode, and that was definitely a standout for Bazooka. But I think the one that stands out for me the most is the one where Wild Bill led a mission with Lady J to a cattle ranch, but at the beginning of that, they were trying to remember the name of that episode off the top of my head. I can't remember it this morning, but Bazooka was at the beginning of that with Alpine and Snake Eyes, ironically enough, and whenever they needed a door, Bazooka would blow out a wall and go door. It was kind of funny. They gave him kind of a big lug, stupid voice in the cartoon, and that's kind of sad because it doesn't really reflect what's on his file card, which I will have near the end of the video. You'll be able to check that out, and that kind of sums up Bazooka. In my head canon, like I said, he's a squad leader, and his teammates are Airtight, Dusty, and Barbecue. Their teams, their fire team is often paired up in different areas. As you can see in Operation Dungeon Siege, they actually got they went from Alpha Squad to Fire Team Alpha to Fire Team Bravo, and it just sometimes works out that way in the field. And I thought it was neat to shuffle things around, and I had a lot of things going as far as ranks and who was in charge, and behind the scenes of that, the real leaders of the entire operation were Falcon, Stalker, and Beachhead. With Stalker and Beachhead being the Alpha team leader, Stalker, and Bravo team leader, Beachhead. So, and Bazooka was just the squad leader of what they refer to as Alpha 1, because each of the squads has 2 fire teams, and Beachhead's particular fire team that he was with, he had deployed most of them to the south for whatever reasons. Storyline wise, I don't want to spoil it because that's kind of coming up in the last part of Operation Dungeon Siege, but he still had Gung Ho with him, and so him and Gung Ho, who was kind of instrumental in this entire Operation Dungeon Siege. He started off the G.I. Joe Goldbricks, and has been a prominent character in this storyline. Him, Bazooka, and Barbecue. Now, of course, Dusty and Beachhead are also in it, but for the purposes of G.I. Joe Goldbricks, we've featured because I've already done a Dusty, my take on Dusty, and Joe takes 7, I think. So he was one of the first ones I did. So check that out if you want. And I did Beachhead as number 10, and he kind of kicked off Cobra Convergence. He had the intro for Operation Dungeon Siege. So everybody in G.I. Joe Goldbricks thus far has had their own Joe Takes episode, but I'm going to have a few more characters in the finale, so hope you're looking forward to that. I know we're looking forward to filming it. I've got a lot of big ideas, but we'll see if we can translate those into photographs, and we're still having a lot of fun with it. So, as far as Bazooka's concerned, he's he's a fire team leader, a squad leader in my head canon, and in the comic books, like I said, I don't remember seeing him all that often. I mean, he was there and he was on missions and stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, I think Larry Hama thought of him as maybe a secondary character that kind of tried to replace Zap. But I think Larry Hama liked Zap better. And I kind of put Bazooka and Zap in the same grade. I mean, they're 2 completely different characters, and I like them for different reasons. But we'll take a last look at my original vintage Tiger Force Bazooka with my original accessories from the 1985 Bazooka, and then the classified with that missile launcher. I do like the fact that you can slide this over, but it comes off so easy and then you could put the missile in there. I thought that was pretty cool. So I thought I would give it a mention before I finish the video here. So I hope you enjoy my take on Bazooka. And with that all being said, Logan out.